Hello there, I'm Tenkyu, the composer. Thank you for watching today's episode. Today I'd like to talk about the secret of Yuki Kajiura's music. The other day I received a comment on my YouTube channel asking for how Yuki Kajiura's music works. Thank you very much for commenting. I really like Ms. Kajiura's music too, and I have various soundtrack albums. Once you listen to it, you can tell it's heard from the unique ethnic feeling and distinctive world view. So, I'd like to explain the secret of Ms. Kajiura's music from a composer's point of view. However, since I am a soundtrack composer, I'd like to focus on the theatrical accompaniment music, or the so-called soundtrack music rather than the lyrics. Let's get right in! The first secret of Yuki Kajiura's music is the Kajiura-go. Kajiura-go refers to an original language created by Ms. Kajiura, and that as such doesn't belong to any country. Since Kajiura-san originally came from a music group called Shiso, she records the chorus part of the play by herself. And because she does the singing, she is able to add the original word to the lyrics in the chorus. When the lyrics of the chorus in Kajiura-go, you feel as if you were listening to the music from distant country, something which cannot be expressed neither Japanese nor English. In other words, it creates an exotic, stateless atmosphere. This is one of the factors that give Yuki Kajiura's music a unique ethnic vibe. In fact, Kajiura-go plays another important role. That is, the song alone can be used as a soundtrack. When it comes to soundtracks, it is difficult to use songs that contain lyrics. This is because they may interfere with the dialogue of the characters. However, if the lyrics are in unknown language, they are less likely to attract attention, and it's possible to insert songs that interfere with dialogue. The Kajiura-go can not only create an exotic stateless sense, but it also have built a sound which is unique to Yuki Kajiura. Now, I'd like to mention a song that I personally recommended in Kajiura-go. It's one of my favorite songs from soundtrack of Puella Magi Madoka Magica, and it's called Credence Justitium or Mami-san's theme. I really don't know how many times I've listened to this song. I've listened to it so many times that I've almost memorized the chorus, which is in Kajiura-go. For those of you who don't know about the anime Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the story is about a group junior high school girls transforming into wizard girls and fighting witches. Mami-san is one of the wizard characters. The girls and the witches fight in a strange dimension commonly known as Inukari space. The Inukari space is a very creepy dimension that is not comparable to anything in the world. Mami-san's theme is played in the scene where she fights, and it's amazing that Kajiura-go's sense of statelessness matches this foreign dimension perfectly. Especially in the third episode, this song is played during the scene where Mami-san is fighting, and it's just really cool, so you should watch it. If you're curious, please watch the anime, it's extremely interesting, so I recommend it. The second secret of Yuki Kajiura's music is the church mode. This is lightly explained in the video I mentioned earlier, one called composition method. The church mode is a scale that is neither a normal major scale nor a minor scale. For example, the C major scale would look like this. If you start with the note Re, you get. As you can see, a scale that is neither major nor minor appears. This is a scale which in the C flat or D minor scale becomes C major. This scale in which the sixth note of the minor scale is raised semitone higher is called the Dorian scale. There are many different types of church mode, but the Dorian scale is indispensable when talking about Yuki Kajiura's music. Let's take a closer look at the characteristic of the Dorian scale. In a musical scale, it is a third note at the beginning of the scale that determines how bright or dark a sound is. The only difference between C major chord and the C minor chord is whether the note E is natural or flat. That is, whether the third note is natural or flat. Now, the Dorian scale is rather dark since the third note is the same as the minor scale. However, unlike the minor scale, the sixth note is the same as in the major scale. In other words, the Dorian scale is a scale that is dark, yet sometimes bright, a mixture of light and dark. It is also a scale often used in Scandinavian folk music or Celtic music. In other words, the Dorian scale is a scale that is connected to a sense of ethnicity, but which has a unique view of the world that is neither bright nor dark. Yuki Kajiura has used the Dorian scale in various scenes. For example, the ending theme of the anime version of Bokudake ga inai machi, it's like a small light. This song is written in B-flat Dorian scale. It's kind of a melancholic, but it's also have a layer of light, isn't it? And above all, it gives you a sense of nostalgia. By the way, the B-flat Dorian scale looked like this. It is characterized by the fact that the 6th note G-flat is raised a semitone to become G. If this G remains in G-flat, the B-flat minor scale would look like this. The music has become darker and somehow less emotional. This is the vibe of the Dorian scale. By the way, the key to creating a song with Dorian scale is to emphasize the 6th note. As I mentioned earlier, the only difference between the Dorian scale and a minor scale is the 6th note. So, if you don't emphasize the 6th degree, it won't sound like the Dorian scale. However, this 6th note, here it becomes a bit technical, but it becomes difficult for the melody to reach from below due to the influence of writing a semitone. That's why the most Dorian scale melodies are often played from the 7th note, decreasing by a semitone to reach the 6th degree. The same is true that it's like a little light, mentioned earlier. It's full of progression that go from A flat to G. However, it never goes from F to G. Thus, when writing a song in Dorian scale, it is good to be aware of the fact that you go from the 7th note to the 6th by dropping by a semitone. The third secret of Yuki Kajiura's music is the Proteus Orchestra. Even if I don't want to introduce this too much because it lays the user market price again, the Proteus Orchestra is the hardware sound source that it released a long time ago. Nowadays, computers are so advanced that you can put any kind of the sound source into your computer, but in the past, you had to connect the external sound source to your computer to make sounds. This Proteus Orchestra has now been discontinued, and it is almost impossible to get a new product. Actually, Ms. Kajiura is a fan of the string sound source in the Proteus Orchestra. This niche instrument, which only Ms. Kajiura seems to be using among modern composers, plays a key role in creating her unique worldview. The string sound is not particularly realistic, but it has a unique ethnic vibe to it. And when you listen to it, you will probably think, oh, that sounds like Yuki Kajiura. Of course, she doesn't use this string sound source alone, but she seems to combine it with a live string sound source. By the way, here is a song I made using the strings. I wrote this song a long time ago, but I think I used the string of Proteus Orchestra and those of the Spitfire. I was a university student at the time, and after listening to the soundtrack of Phase Zero by Yuki Kajiura, I wanted to make a song like that. I don't know if it has a Kajiura-san's vibe to it, but let's just use it as a reference. The song is available as a free VGM, so if you'd like to use it, you can download it from the overview section. Well, how was it? Today's topic was the secret of Yuki Kajiura's music. Even if I try to explain it in a logical way, what is more important is that Yuki Kajiura's taste in melodies and her worldview are truly wonderful. I will keep enjoying Ms. Kajiura's music as a fan. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I hope this story has been useful to you. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a high rating if you do. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. This was Tenkyu. Thank you for your time.